us that these laws that we have been given by God are not leading us to the divine standard that we're called to fulfill? Watch what Jesus does. And I'm almost done. And we'll talk about this next Sunday. Jesus, according to Paul, this is Paul talking in reference to Jesus. And for you all who are Bible scholars, I just want you all to know that the letters of Paul were written before the Gospels were written. Uh-oh, watch out there now. So Paul gives us the interpretation of how we should look at the Gospels when we read them based on his letter. So watch what Paul says. Galatians 5:22, he says, but the Spirit, the Holy Spirit, produces these kind of behavior, produces this standard that God asks all of us to live into. The Holy Spirit produces this kind of fruit in our lives. Watch this. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Watch what Paul says. There is no law against these things. To live in the Holy Spirit, to become the light of the world that Jesus became for us, we must move from being practitioners of human laws to practitioners of God's divine law. And the fruit of the Spirit in the book of Galatians indicates that if you want to be lawless like Jesus, it's not about robbing banks. It's not about holding people hostage. It's not about telling people you're more righteous than they are. Paul is saying, and Jesus is saying, if you want to be lawless and still meet all of God's divine standards and commandments, practice these things. Because the law is not going to teach you when to show love. The law is not going to teach you when to be gentle. The law is not going to teach you when to have self-control. The law is not going to teach you what faithfulness looks like. The law is not going to teach you what joy looks like. Because human standard cannot tap into the divine because it does not have the ability to recognize the light when it shows up. Watch this now. Human standard said when Jesus showed up bearing all the fruit of the Holy Spirit, it said, you are not fulfilling the laws of Moses, so I reject you, Jesus. You're not the one. But Jesus showed up with love, with